Hey there and welcome to another InvoiceBerry tutorial on how to optimize your business workflow with the help of InvoiceBerry and Zapier. My name is Uwe, I'm the founder of InvoiceBerry, a simple online invoicing tool for small business owners. Today we're looking at Paperform. It's a very modern form builder, and I think they already created over 500,000 forms for people. And it's a very simple form builder, one of these modern ones with a lot of templates, and I really love it. I've spent quite a bit of time in there now. Yeah, you see here almost 500,000 forms were created with their help. Okay, so what we're doing today is we want to create a form, and when someone submits a form, we will process it with Zapier and then send the data to InvoiceBerry and create an invoice for that submission. In this case, I decided to have a form that parents can sign up their kids for an activity, and then they will be charged according to the amount of kids they sign up for that activity. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so now I'm in my dashboard. You can create a new form. There are loads of different templates you can choose from. You see here, I'm just keep on scrolling and it keeps on just offering me different forms. I can search for a template. I can start from scratch, or down here, I already started my form. Okay, so here is my form. I already created it. It's a kids program registration. And what I have to do, let me just edit it quickly to show you how the form looks like. It's just a day program, and parents can fill out the information here, the phone number, email, and how many kids they want to register. I've already submitted the form once, so Zapier will have some sample data when it processes the form later on. So let's go to Zapier and let's search for Paperform. All right, and then let's search for InvoiceBerry. The trigger we want to set up is a new form submission, and the action would be to create a new invoice. So as a first step, we have to connect Paperform and then InvoiceBerry with Zapier. So let's get started on that. Let's click the connect button, and that's it. I already confirmed and authorized Zapier to use my Paperform account, so it's pretty straightforward. I click on next. So now you have to select what form you want to use for this automation. It's my kids program registration form. I click on next. And now Paperform is sending the first submission data to Zapier. If you haven't submitted your own form yet, you just have to go to your form, view it, put in some test data, submit it, and then run that again. Now let's connect InvoiceBerry. To connect InvoiceBerry, we need two things. We need the API password and the API key. So let's go to InvoiceBerry, click on Settings, Main Settings, and Integrations. And there you can copy the API key. If you haven't requested an API key before, just click on Request API Key and you will get an API key. If you think that someone might have copied your API key, just renew your key to be sure that everything is secure. So let's copy that key, go back to Zapier and paste it into the API key field. Go back to InvoiceBerry, copy the API password, paste it here, and click on Yes, Continue. Perfect. Our InvoiceBerry account is now connected to our Zapier account, and let's click on Next. As a next step, Zapier wants us to select the client we want to send that invoice for. So we could technically set up an automation for an existing client, but in this case, we want to create a new client with every form submission. So simply don't click on any client and just click on Next. Now we have to match the data we receive from Paperform with the data we want to have on the invoice at InvoiceBerry. So we want a client name, client email. I think we ask for the phone number. And here you can just select things, and if you later realize you don't need that field, you simply leave it blank. We select client first name, last name, and I think we also want to select the description, the unit cost, the quantity, and we also want to say send invoice, because there you can select yes or no. If you select no, InvoiceBerry will simply create a draft invoice. If you select yes, InvoiceBerry will create the invoice and automatically send it to your customer. Let's click on next. And now we have to match these fields we received from Paperform with the fields on InvoiceBerry. So for client name, we probably simply want to use the first and last name of that parent. The parent's name, James Cook. Okay, client email. Let's search for the email address. That's my email address. The phone number. I'm unsure if I had one. Yes, I had one here. The client first name. I did not ask for a first name apparently. I just asked for the full name potentially. So in this case, you could either ask for two fields, a first name and a last name, or you could use a Zapier formation tool, but that would add an additional step simply to break that full name into a first and last part. It's not that important in my opinion, so I would just leave it as it is right now. As currency, we have to select the currency that is required from InvoiceBerry. So that would be US dollars in this case. The date of issue for that invoice would be when the submission happened. So that's a few days ago when I ran that test, and this is a created at field. So now as the item description, let's have a look if we find anything here. I think in this case we would just write it. So I think we said it's a kids program. So let's say daily fee for kids program. And this is any text you want to appear on the invoice. As a unit cost, I think I said $50. And the quantity is variable because the parent can actually select how many kids will attend the event here. How many kids do you want to register? The answer was here 3. So the invoice should be 3 times 50, 150 in total. And let's have a look if that happens. Send, yes, we want to automatically send that invoice. Or you could also say no and just save a draft. Let's just send it this time automatically. Let's click on next. So now we can just double check the information. And let's click on send test. Now Zapier will send this information to InvoiceBerry to test if the automation is set up correctly. And if it's set up correctly, 2 things should happen. Firstly, there should be an invoice in InvoiceBerry, and secondly, I should receive the invoice via email. So let's have a look at our InvoiceBerry account. Go to invoices, and there you have it. James Cook is a new client on the 2nd of December, $150. And let's click on the invoice to see how it looks. All right, perfect. So as you can see here, the invoice is loading. We only have the client's name. We could obviously ask for the address details and then add that as well to the invoice. Here we have the daily fee for the kids program. We said it's $50. This was variable because I selected 3 kids. It's $150 in total. Obviously you can upload your own logo here. And the beautiful thing with InvoiceBerry is that you can also connect InvoiceBerry to Stripe, Square, WePay, PayPal, and a few more online payment gateways. And that way there would be a Pay Now button here, and the parent can just click on the button and pay the invoice instantly. And it just automates your entire process from sign up to your program to sending out the invoice to getting paid. Now let's quickly check my email and refresh it here. And yes, there you have it. I received an invoice via email for the $150. And just to show you, let's actually run this automation once more because this was just a test. So let's go back to Zapier, click on next. It's actually a very important step because you have to turn on the SAP. Perfect, now the SAP is turned on. So let's go back to our form and check where can we, let's turn back here and let's view the form and let's fill it out once more. Parent name, Jane Smith, the email address. So I will use one of my email addresses in order to show you how it ends up in my inbox. How many kids? Let's say only one kid this time. Submit. Now it was submitted successfully. So this data will now be sent to Zapier, and then Zapier will send it to InvoiceBerry, and then I should receive the invoice as well as an email. Perfect. Jane Smith is here. Let's check my email inbox. Perfect. So I received a notification that someone signed up for the program. So this would be actually me as the owner of that business receiving that email that someone submitted the form. And then the parent would receive that email. It's just right now in my test, obviously, I receive both emails. And you can see here, it's a daily fee, but this time only for one kid. So it makes it a total of $50. Thanks a lot for listening. If you've got any other questions on how to automate your business workflow in order to save time and admin work, just let me know about it and I'm happy to assist you. Have a fantastic day and happy invoicing. Bye bye.